host, Chris Campbell, and this evening we're honored to have with us 4 guests in our studio. These gentlemen are members of the winners, I should say, of the Slippery Slope Robotics, Vex Robotics competition that was held here at Ivy Tech back in November. And let's actually let them introduce themselves and see who we have this evening.
Okay, I'm Arjun Dhawan, and I'm 13 years old, and I'm from Castle North Middle School.
I'm Connor Eschi. I'm 14 years old.
I'm Josh Myers. I'm 14.
I'm Zach McClary, and I'm 13, and we all go to Castle North Middle School.
All right, well, thanks to you all, and we are honored to have you here this evening. So, you know, that day of the competition, as you stepped in there and saw some of the other competitors and saw their robots and all, what was going through your mind as you saw some of those other creations?
Well, for me, I was thinking about like what we could eliminate, or what we could like who we could beat and who we couldn't beat, and what was our competition and what we had to worry about. That was mainly what I was thinking about.
Okay. And what were some of your strategies as you went into the competition? What were you thinking about there?
Well, our first strategy was when we were practicing, we built our own setup to practice because we had seen a picture of the playing field for the competition. So we had our shop teacher build us a little ramp that was similar to the one at the competition that we used to practice. And so we used that to practice, and we discovered that since we had a time limit and we only had the claw to pick golf balls up with, that we had to do our best, and we practiced this a lot, trying to get 2 golf balls in the claw at one time. And so that was our biggest concern during the competition.
Okay. All right. And the next question here actually says, what place did you actually come in? And I already gave that away, that you guys actually were the winners. And so instead, let me just ask, how did you design the robot that you came up with?
It was just a lot of trial and error. We built several robots. It was like 5 or 6. And we extensively tested those robots, and we had to rethink them and rebuild the designs. But we eventually worked really hard. Like 2 days before the competition, we got this robot done, and we were practicing for the rest of the time.
All right. And so what would you gentlemen say to someone who might be interested in participating in future Vex Robotics competitions?
I've got to say, you've got to be prepared to go through some hard times and trial and error. It takes a lot of tries. Like, we built a couple different robots to see how they would work, and then we kind of combined all of our designs. So it takes a lot of perseverance. Also, you know, added to hard work, it takes a lot of time too. We got as much as we could. We asked our teachers, like when we had time to work on homework, we would get out of classes so we could come and work on a robot. I mean, we probably spent a total of a couple, maybe even a week's worth of hours on this robot. It just takes a lot of time. You know, you've just got to keep at it. That's the biggest thing, really. Like Arjun here, he kind of started a little earlier than the rest of us, and he's like, hey, I think you guys should check this out. It would be really neat if we all did it together. So we did that, and we spent a lot of time on it. We've done a couple different competitions, but a lot of the times after you do one competition, the next is easier. You get a lot more experience with it. So those are a couple things I think you need to think about.
All right. Well, just as we conclude here, is this robot finished then, or are there potentially future competitions that this guy might be in yet?
Well, this robot isn't going to be in any other competitions, but we do have a national qualifying competition that's in January, and January 26th, and we're actually going to be competing to go into nationals. So it's kind of exciting.
Also, what you have to do, you have to make your own design for each competition. Like this one, we had to get golf balls up on the slope. But in the next one we're doing, it's called Sack Attack. So we're going to be putting sacks on a shelf. So you have to design a different robot for each competition with the different parts you have.
And I think that with the robots you've built, you can combine a lot of elements of those robots to face like a new challenge for a new competition. So I feel that that's really helpful, having the robots.
All right. Well, first of all, thank you all so much for coming in this evening. Again, congratulations to you all. This is just awesome, seeing how your robot performed in the competition, and that you came away with a big win. So good luck as you prepare for nationals, and thank you all again for coming in. Once again, your host Chris Campbell, and for Ivy Tech, thank you for tuning in.